Hi everyone, welcome to this pick a card all about your career and career advice kind of going forward, whether you are working on your own small business or you are employed, whatever it is, or passions that you're working on growing and manifesting into businesses, all apply at this pick a card reading. So we are going to start with group 1, 2, and 3. Feel free to pause the video if you need more time. Timestamps will be listed down below so you can fast forward to your pile and skip ahead to your reading and get the messages you need to hear today. Hi group 1, if you chose this pile and a pile number 1 or this green stone, this is your reading for your career advice, whether that be self-employed, small business, a passion you are growing, or if you are averagely or normally employed, if you will, not to make fun of that at all. But yeah, this is a general reading, so take what resonates, leave the rest. I do offer personal readings, which are way more in depth and specific to your situation. Link is down below, as well as some really fun goodies that I offer, such as a moon ritual guide, which is really fun, a PDF. So let's get into your current energy status. We'll see where you are currently, what you're calling in, what you're manifesting in, what you're working towards, what is being created behind the scenes, if you will. We have a Queen of Wands, 10 of Cups, the Lovers. Well, so you're doing good, which is kind of what is your current energy, or the energy that you are projecting right now. Obviously, with the Queen of Wands, you are really fiercely going after these goals and passions and business and career. Like, there definitely is this energy that you're surrounded by, this very go-getting, willing to do, willing to persevere, willing to put time and energy and effort into it. But you're also doing it in a way that feels balanced. It's not so much do all the time. It's also do and then let the manifestations kind of roll in. There's like a need for you to let go of that control a little bit. And I feel like you are learning to find that balance of like when to push, when to shove, when to really dig your heels in and work, and when to take a break and sit back and be passive and allow creative ideas to come to you. Maybe right now you are calling in too many creative ideas where you don't really know how you're going to do them all, and you're getting maybe a little bit overwhelmed with the thought of how do I put these things into action. I think first off, really important for you to write down all the ideas, no matter how small, how dumb, how great, or whatever. Like, have a spot where you write ideas down and you just kind of let ideas be like a dumping ground, idea dumping ground, if you will. And so when you do have those moments of, I'm not sure where I should be aiming towards, you'll be able to refer back to your idea dumping ground, if you will. But I do feel like you might feel a little overwhelmed with all of these ideas and this fuel and this passion and this fire, that you're almost getting a little bit too overwhelmed with how to nurture them, what is the right action step, what things you should be focusing your time and energy on, where you should be, putting everything in order. So you might really need to be refocusing your energy and organizing your goals and making sure that they're attainable, making sure that you have some kind of order, you have something that you're working on that creates a bread and butter consistency. So that basically means something that pays the bills, if you will. as well as something that you're working on the side to create, or something that can be more passive. So it's almost like finding the balance, finding the importance, and not overwhelming yourself too much with all these creative ideas and feeling like you need to accomplish them all right now. It's almost like there needs to be a slower process here, a slower way of doing things. You know, the Ten of Cups is here to say that you're definitely on the right track. I feel like you are definitely aiming in the right direction. You are definitely going to where you're headed. I keep on seeing this little sun, and it's almost like you're being led. And I think you're really listening to your intuition, or maybe listen to your intuition a little bit more to help with that guidance, to help with feeling okay and trusting and allowing things to kind of happen. You know, there is this need to let things flow a little bit more. Like, yes, you still have to do things, you still have to put time and energy into things, but there needs to be a bit more trust and peace brought into this equation to help you kind of get things going a bit smoothly and less masculine of a do constantly energy, but maybe finding the balance of allowing things to come in and surprise you. You know, the Ten of Cups is also about just feeling emotionally fulfilled. You know, perhaps now or soon or in the near soon future, time is irrelevant. I can't say that word. But basically, time is not important, because the universe doesn't really run on time. We run on time. But this is saying that you will get there. You know, you will get to those goals that will make you feel fulfilled, and they will come at the right time for each of you. But there needs to be ease and peace, but you're definitely like on the right track. You're definitely in the right momentum. You're in the right wheel. You're turning on the right track, if you will. The Lovers here can symbolize lovers, but in a career reading, it is more about a choice. You know, really making a choice that like shakes things up. You know, do you choose to do the safe route where you know this is exactly where you'll be and this trajectory, even though you can't control clients coming to you, and you can't control people buying things from you, and you can't control people watching YouTube videos and giving them likes and subscriptions and stuff like that. You can't control that. You can control what you create, what you put out there, what you advertise, what you are energetically calling in. And so almost there is this push and pull dynamic with you going on right now, where some days you're like, yes, I get it. I can call people in. I can like just let the control fall away. I can make content or creation from the heart and soul. And then you flip-flop into like a state of fear, being like, well, when are they coming? Am I doing things right? Like there's this flip-flop of energy that you're kind of in. And it could be old patterns. Perhaps you have tried in the past and you've failed. Perhaps you've done things and it's kind of triggering to put time and energy and effort into something and it doesn't take off, and you're like, well, is it because it was crappy, or is it because I like don't understand marketing? Is it because like all these things? And it's such a fine balance between creating content, marketing yourself, and like letting go. So you're in this push-pull energy, which creates a push-pull with your business. So let's get kind of some advice then. If you are in this push-pull energy, what should you be focusing on? Some advice going forward for group 1. 10 Nine of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, and one more. All right. So, well, we do have the Ten of Pentacles. We have the Ace of Pentacles, which is interesting. You know, the Ten of Pentacles is all about foundation, stability. There needs to be consistency, stability. You can't just 1 month or 1 week have this spur of the moment of all this energy and posting consistently and creating consistently and advertising consistently, and then you don't see the results, and so you stop. And so there needs to be stability, consistency. There needs to be a plan in place. Pentacles is all about plan, structure, the material world. What can you offer people? What are you, like, what do you want, you know, out of your business? What are you looking for? Why are you creating the content that you're creating? Is it something that you can't find yourself and so you're creating it? Or are you just copying other people and then getting burnt out because you're not seeing result, because you're not allowing your true self to shine? So there needs to be more stability in the actions you are taking. They need to be consistent. They need to be something that you can easily do every week or every month for multiple months, multiple years. Like, there needs to be a consistent basis, a plan in place, a schedule in place. Like, what are you doing? What are you creating? How are you doing it? Block creating stuff, doing smaller things that you can create and do, as well as like marketing yourself. Like, you need to research how to market yourself and put yourself out there. You know, with the Six of Wands, it's all about recognition, hard work, people seeing what you're doing. But people can't see what you're doing if you're not putting yourself out there, if you're not consistently doing it. It needs to be consistent. It needs to be stable. It needs to be grounded. But it also needs to be you, yourself. What are you creating? Are you creating it because you just want to make money? Because that's not going to be consistent. That's not going to last. So find something that is consistent, that you can do. It's attainable. Maybe it's hard. It's outside of your comfort zone. It's scary, but you can do it. You can figure it out. Maybe you need to be researching some things as well to be able to call this in. But overall, I just want to say that this is very, very positive. You're on a very positive track to getting things done and getting the flow going, but you're standing in your own way. You keep on blocking with this push-pull, this fiery start and then stop, and people are getting confused because they're like, and the algorithm's confused, and there is no consistency to what you're trying to create. So there needs to be some consistency. Put yourself out there. Try to do it uniquely you and yourself. Maybe that means you need to take a break from social media to stop comparing yourself to others, to see what people are doing. There's a difference between researching what other people are doing and what people want, and then versus just jumping on the train and trying to do things. And I get it. It's hard. It's hard to find that balance of seeing what is being done and not copying. Temperance here. It's all about balance, equality. There needs to be, a consistent balance of vulnerability, showing yourself, creating these things and allowing things to happen. Because the more at peace you are with your business, and the more you're able to call in these things, like you're going to be able to have a light switch moment where things are just going to start flowing and clicking. But there needs to be consistency and a vulnerability of yourself, and to show yourself. I feel like some people put out content and it's like a copy paste quote, and they put it on their Instagram, and then they're like, well, why aren't I getting clients? It's because who are you? All I see is a quote. I don't see any personality. And to not be afraid to like show your face, show your gifts, show your knowledge, show your skills, and do it in a way that's unique to yourself. You know, don't be afraid to put yourself out there, to let your face be part of your brand. Because personally, I really like following people for their personality, not for the content that they're posting. I'm like, ooh, I like that person. I really want to see what they're up to. So that's kind of the advice. Let's see what is coming next in your career then. So if you take all this advice and you start taking baby steps, I also want to say your to-do list, your ideas, make sure that you're doing only a few a day. Most important tasks of the day. You know, don't overwhelm yourself with millions of tasks, because you're not going to get anything done, because you're going to feel too overwhelmed and burnt out and be like, ugh. So just do little stuff every day. Okay, what's coming next then? In your business, we have 8 of Pentacles. All right, so we have 8 of Pentacles, which is all about perseverance. Really, you see this man, he is working on Pentacles. He's not looking outside of himself. He is studying his work. His work is perfected, and it's because it's taken him so long to perfect it. And so there needs to be this individual, you know, work. And I think what you're going to be doing is putting your head down and focusing on what your business looks like, and being able to have this steady flow and this steady creation. So that's what's coming in next, is this like head down approach to being able to get things done. We have the Ace of Swords and we have the Magician. Yeah, so you're gonna have new ideas come forward, new ways of communicating, new ways of putting yourself out there, new ways of approaching things, perhaps communication from others, from yourself. There's going to be networks created, a community created, but it's the beginning, so it's going to take some time. But I feel like this is what you are calling in next, is you here at your study working consistently, because you have consistent workflow, you have consistent clients, you have consistent needs that must be met, and so you're very studious in your approach of your business. Ace of Swords, communication, new beginnings of communication, new ways of thinking of doing things, new ways forward. We have the Magician. A little bit of trust goes a long way. I feel like you are learning to trust in the universe and calling in this power and calling in these skills and asking for help when you need it. There is a sense of purity and passion and creation, and allowing things to unfold in a more natural state instead of a controlled state. So yeah, I think you're really calling in some really beautiful things. I think you're on a really good path, and it's just about staying consistent. If you would like, I did create a I am affirmation video for career, for business people, for really like ticking away at those stuck mindsets of I'm bad at marketing and all this stuff. So if you want to check that out, link will be also down below. But yeah, that's all I have for you. If you liked it, feel free to give the video a like to support free tarot content on YouTube. Give us a subscribe if you feel called. Until next time, take care of yourself. Bye. Hi group 2, welcome to your reading about your career. We're going to look at your current energy that you are projecting and calling in to how that's affecting your business, as well as advice, steps forward, and last but not least, what is coming next in your career. So this is a general reading, so take what resonates, leave the rest. I do offer personal readings. Link is down below, and it'll be more in-depth and personal, obviously. So yeah, let's just get started, as well as I did create a I am affirmation video that you can listen to kind of rewire your subconscious. And the reason why I made it is because I wanted one. And so I created it based on my own fears and insecurities that usually come up for me when creating my own business and dealing with all of that stuff. So let's get started here. Enough with the spiels, with your current energy that you are kind of bringing in here. Interesting. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it. So we have the Prince and Princess of Torches. Interesting. So you're definitely in this fiery energy that is young and excited. Not that you're actually young. You can be, but you don't have to be. But you're young and excitable and energized to kind of move forward. But there's a little bit of naivety in the way that you're moving forward. There's a little bit haphazardness, perhaps, a little bit sloppiness, a little bit like too fast, too furious. Like you're like, I'm excited, I just want to create things, and it's kind of coming out a little bit sideways, perhaps, or you're not learning the correct skills in the way that you are needing to. And I don't think that you're doing anything wrong. I think that you are just learning how to create this thing, how to put it out there, how to put yourself on social media, how to market yourself, how to advertise yourself, what works, what doesn't work. Like I feel like you're in the energy of figuring things out, and it's very young. You know, you're very green, as people kind of say when someone is brand new to a certain, skill level. You're new to it. You're fresh grass. You have the excitement. You have the energy. There's a little bit of reckless aiming, I think is fair to say, which you have this energy, and I want you to keep hold of it. But I also want you to kind of plan out this energy a bit better, so it's not so gung-ho, because if you keep up at this speed, these two speeds, you're not going to be able to keep up with it. Perhaps, for example, you're on YouTube and you're like, I am going to make 3 videos a week while I also work a 9-to-5 job to like put my passions out there, and really I'll post on Instagram as well, and I'll do all these reels and everything like that. And you're only able to do that for a month, because when are you going to find the time to do all that with also balancing a normal job, with also balancing your sanity, with also balancing time for fun, time for friends, time for family, time for rest, rejuvenation. So this is the energy you're in right now. It's just a little cautionary to keep this fire, keep this excitement, keep this trajectory. Just rein it in a little bit and make sure, put a little water on it to rein that fiery passion in a little bit, because it's a little bit like, woohoo, let's just go for it. Let's go, let's run, let's do it. Let's run and jump and just make things happen. And you're going to get like really burnt out really quick. So there's a couple things. I think this energy is great. Don't get burnt out. Find a good balance. Make it realistic what you can actually contribute on a day-to-day basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis. What can you do that won't drive you up the wall or burn yourself out? Because if you upload 3 videos a week and do reels and all this stuff, your success and your recognition is going to come at the right time. So even if you take a break, even if you exhaust yourself, it's going to come at the same time. So it doesn't matter really what you're doing. Yes, put your work out there, put your time and energy into your work, but do it in a way that is consistent and healthy, as well as stopping to assess the trajectory of your business. What are you putting out there? Why are you putting it out there? I feel like you're just missling just random ideas, random thoughts, and it's not structured. It's not foundational. It doesn't make sense. Perhaps you have never defined your target market or your niche. I highly recommend, looking that up. Like, how do you define your target market? How do you define your niche? And don't niche down where you only do one thing. Make sure it is still you and you're still expressing you and it's unique and everything like that. And as well as on this journey, it might change. Your trajectory might change a little bit, and that can also play into stuff. So maybe that is also what you're doing, is perhaps you were on this fiery trajectory of, I'm only going to make this, and then you're like, well, now I've been doing it for a little while and I'm curious about this. This is the perfect time to experiment with these things. And when you're creating a business or a passion or anything like this, you need to allow this imperfection of creation to happen. You need to allow this curiosity to happen, because you need to post the content, no matter how good it is, no matter how bad it is, because it'll help you find the way that is your niche and is something that means something to you. You'll eventually find it as you flow through it all. So just be really mindful of that and allow yourself to have this naive, young process, but start really looking at, where you're going. So we have the Fool and we have the Death card. So the Death card, transformation. Obviously your business is going through some kind of transformation. And then we have the Fool card upside down, which is, again, the Fool card upright is all about taking a leap of faith, trusting the universe, going where you're guided, trusting that inner guidance, having a plan, being a little bit dumb, being a little bit naive about it, taking the risk, feeling the fear, but doing it anyway. And here you're blocking that. You're blocking this energy. Maybe you're overly afraid to put yourself out there, to take risks. You're afraid that your content's not good enough. You're afraid you don't know what you're doing. You just need to do it. You just need to put yourself out there. It doesn't matter what it looks like. Let it evolve naturally. Let it go through the creative process of transformation. So again, transformation here. You're going through a different cycle. So perhaps, again, your business is changing from what you thought it would be into something else, which is why it's kind of important to always bring yourself into the business. it's tricky to separate who you are as a person from who you are as a business, but it's also important for you to use yourself as part of your business. Your personality, you yourself, your knowledge is part of the selling point of your business. And so often I see people shy away from putting themselves out there. I know it is scary. Here I am doing a tarot video. I don't show my face, but I do have other videos where I show my face. You know, I have reels and all that. So like I do a mixture of the things. You know, it's not just my hands only. I don't even have usually manicured hands, except right now I do. So normally it's just like, what? But put yourself out there. You are your work. Put yourself out there, but also separate yourself from your work so that if you get criticism or anything like that, you can separate. That's my business. That's not who I am. I know who I am. So on and so forth. So yeah, you're definitely going through this transformation period energy-wise of your business. Very interesting. So let's get some advice now for you then. Group 2, some advice for what they should be focusing on. And a couple more. Okay. All right. Oop. Goodness. So first came out was the 2 of Wands here, which is all about planning. It's all about, you know, the excitement of taking a trip. You know, you booked the ticket, you know where you're going. Now you get the excitement of planning. You know, what do you want to go see? Where do you want to go? Do you want to rent a car? Where are you going to eat? What hotel are you going to stay at? You're at the planning stage. So right now it's very important for you to set these foundations, set these plans, allow these ideas to come in, you know, experiment with it, get curious about it, you know, entertain, you know, this fun aspect of where it can go, what it can create. Start planning like fun things you can do with the business. Not just like, what are other people doing? Like, get really creative about the excitement, you know, like you do when you plan a trip. How can you plan your business in that same kind of way? You know, and then we do have the Hermit card that came out, which is all about usually isolation, you know, seeking that inner wisdom, that inner guidance, that inner knowledge, inner power, inner knowing. So perhaps you're being called right now to look within a little bit more, you know, really start asking yourself the questions like, why am I doing this? What do I want out of it? Is it out of love? Is it out of ego? Is it out, I just want to make money? Like, why are you doing this? Why are you offering this thing? Is it because you're miserable and you hate your job and you just want to work for yourself? Like, why? Why are you doing these things? Another good question to ask is, what scares you? What step in your business scares you? You know, for example, one of my fears was going live on YouTube, and then I did, and I was like, oh, not so bad. But that was one of my fears for over a year, was to go live on YouTube. And, you know, I finally did, and it wasn't so bad. So ask yourself those things. What are you afraid of for the next step for you to do? Like, to get outside your comfort zone, because that's going to help expand your business to reach into those fears and transform them and kind of see what you can get out of it, you know? 3 of Pentacles, yes. You know, a focus on work, on creating a consistent basis. You know, it's the 3 of Pentacles. You're not that far into the Pentacles. You're not the beginning. You've decided, you know where you're aiming. You know where you're going. Now it's time to create. It's time to collaborate. It's time to communicate. It's time to put these ideas out there on paper. It's time to put them on social media. It's time to really focus and hone the craft and not be so winging it here with these two energies, but where can you really get focused and serious about, what you're creating and what you're doing and what you're calling in. Great advice so far. And then we have the Emperor. This energy wants you to believe in yourself, trust the power, the wisdom, the knowledge that you have, the knowledge, the wisdom that you will be gaining here with the Hermit, with this introspective, not literally going hermit mode, but, looking within, really asking yourself those deep questions. What do I need to know? What do I need to research? If you want to make reels, have you ever made a reel? Do you know how to edit reels? Do you know how to put text on there? Do you know how to tag it? Like, maybe you should be researching that. And the Emperor here is all about just a little bit of a cocky knowing, like, I know how to do it. People listen to me. I'm important. Like this truck passing by, if you can hear it, very, very loud and important. But this is calling for you to have that trust and faith in you, in yourself, and what you're creating. And this, don't let things knock you down. Don't let fear knock you down. Don't let the unknown knock you down. Like, really stand in your power, in your belief system. And this is all going to happen because of the Hermit here. You're going to get introspective. You're going to really ask yourself these important questions. Because if you have a why, there is a quote by Nietzsche: "He who has a why to live for can bear almost any how." It's a little bit of a tongue twister, but if you have a why you're doing something, you can have so much faith in yourself without external guidance or words or needs. Anyway, let's get what is coming next then. So you know where you are, you know the advice. Let's see what's going to be manifesting, creating because of this. Okay, let's take a look. So we have the 6 of Cups, we have the 5 and 6 of Pentacles. One more, please. And the King of Swords. Okay. So I feel like you're going to be having more fun with your business. This can be all about nostalgia. It can also be about purity. It can be about the past, but also just reminds me of childhood feelings, feeling good, feeling free, feeling excited. Like you go play and you're not worried about the mud on your pants or the temperature outside. Like, kids just don't notice that. I feel like you're going to be in this energy of more peace, more harmony, more fun, more excitement, and perhaps it's going to be because you're going to be tapping into your inner child. Because they say what your inner child was really into at a young age is usually tied or linked to your purpose, And so I feel like you're going to be tapping into this innocence, this excitement, this fun, this revelation. I feel like you are going to be manifesting a little bit of a push and pull with money. Perhaps you struggle with the mental aspect of money and you're working on those traumas and you're trying to figure out a way to find a balance of the two. I feel like there's a push and pull. I think it's important for you to get financially smart, especially like if you have your own business. Like, if you're at the state to get an LLC or an S Corp, maybe you should. If you have no idea what that is, look it up. Go talk to a financial advisor. I'm not a financial advisor. If you are running your own business, do you need an EIN? You probably need a bank account so you can keep your money separate? Are you pulling 20 to 30% of your income that you get from your business aside for taxes? Are you also paying yourself? So on and so forth. You can probably look on YouTube self-employed money tips. I don't know, something like that. But I think it's time for you to get really serious about money, because you might be having money coming in, and if you're still in this old money mindset, you can hurt yourself, or there'll be this push and pull dynamic. So what's coming in, just free will here, but just be mindful of your money. Keeping your personal money and your business money separate, I think it's going to be really beneficial. I'm going to get one more card to kind of clarify this. See if there's anything else you need to hear. The Sun, and we have the Page of Pentacles. Okay, so it's not too bad. It's not too bad. So we have the Sun card here, positivity, like it's not as bad as it seems. But you do have the Page of Pentacles, which is a very young energy. Perhaps you are learning about finances. Perhaps you are just beginning to understand what it actually means to be freelance and put your money aside and pay your own taxes and all these things. So I think that is what is coming next, is an education in money. And so if you know this now, you have free will to really start, just jump on the horse and figure out how to get that all started here. Start doing some research. The Hermit, it is the perfect time for you to reassess, really come together. All right, and we have the King of Swords here, which is all about nurturing these ideas and these communications and using your voice and really speaking your mind, speaking your truth, allowing yourself to shine here. That's what's happening here, because you're believing in yourself. Remember that advice? You're believing in yourself. So there's this power in your voice where people see you and hear you and trust you, and they just want to buy stuff from you, or they believe in you. It's all these things. And so you're really evoking this power within yourself, which is really, really strong and amazing and awesome. So yeah, that's all I have for you, group 2. Feel free to give the video a like to support free tarot content. Give a subscribe, give a comment. Let me know what you're creating. Like, what business are you creating down below? Where are you at in these steps? I'd love to know. Until next time, take care of yourself. Bye. Hi, group 3. Welcome to your reading if you chose this pile or this stone for your career. We're going to be getting into your current energies, basically what you are currently attracting, calling in, sitting in energetically with your business or your passions or your hobbies or your creations. It is also, we're going to be getting into advice, steps forward, and at the end, we will look into what is coming next for you. Exciting predictions of what will be coming next after the advice. And just want to say this is a general reading, so take what resonates, leave the rest. I do offer personal readings, link is below. As well as I have created a I am affirmation video all about my own personal business insecurities and affirmations to kind of combat that. And I basically made it for myself because I really wanted one very personal. So feel free to take a look at that. Link will also be below. So let's get into, oh, we don't need those yet. I feel discombobulated, so maybe you do as well. But let's look at your current energy. 6 of Cups, the Hierophant, and the 7 of Torches. Interesting. I'm not going to read them upside down. I didn't pull them upside down on purpose. Okay. So first off, we have the 6 of Cups, which is all about really feeling that like inner excitement, that inner child, that spark, that curiosity, that, I don't know, just whimsy, if you will. So right now you're definitely in a very hopeful, magical state. Perhaps like ideas are kind of flowing to you. Perhaps, you know, it could even be someone from the past coming back, or not even like that far of a past or like that. Or it could be someone from the very far past that comes back into your life and kind of just inspires you, or maybe they don't even come in, but maybe a memory comes back in and you're like, ooh, interesting. So you're a little bit in this nostalgic energy, perhaps as well. You're a little bit thinking about the past. Maybe you're thinking about like what you did right, what you did wrong, where you are now. Perhaps you've tried stuff in the past and you're a little bit anxious about, making things happen. How am I going to get these ideas out there? There's this wanting to do things and wanting to create things, but a little bit of fear and insecurity, perhaps even putting yourself out there. Perhaps you're afraid to be judged, perhaps from someone from the past, when you were younger, judged you for the way that you looked, because everyone probably got judged and that's just how kids are. But perhaps there is this lingering fear that you're afraid to put yourself out there because people will judge you and say something mean and all these things. And yeah, they might, because it's the internet and people can do whatever they want. But it's important to have that foundation of what you're really wanting to create and who you are. I feel like I'm really distracted as well in this reading. I feel like even the intro, I feel like I couldn't get my words out. I feel like I'm just a little bit scatterbrained. I'm a little bit distracted. I'm a little bit all over the place. This could also be you. Perhaps, you have these ideas come up and you're like, yes, let's do it. And then you have ADHD, you get distracted, whatever it is. But there's this scatterbrained, unclear thinking. The path forward is a little bit confusing and a bit clunky, a bit all over the place. So interesting. Let's go to the next card then. We have the Hierophant card here, which is all about a higher learning, a higher study, a higher investigation. Perhaps right now you are teaching yourself something or learning something, or you're going through a process that requires study, or perhaps you are creating something that requires you to get factual and to study and to have reference books and to create something. So it's almost like there's a lot of call for knowledge and study here, as well as a little bit of nostalgia that you're calling in. Perhaps you are trying to figure out what the next steps are. Where are you going? What are you doing? How do I make it happen? You're getting very serious about whatever the thing is that you want to be creating and calling in. And you're trying to figure out better ways to create that. So you're looking to a higher power, you're looking for answers, you're looking for guidance, you're looking for all of those things that really honestly are probably more within than to a tarot reader or to to God or anything like that. There needs to be this trust in yourself. It feels like there's a lack of trust, and being vulnerable and putting yourself out there. There needs to be this re-evaluation of yourself and who you are. A deeper study, a deeper learning. I don't even know if this is making any sense. This feels so scatterbrained and so all over the place. We'll pull some more cards, but it's very, very weird. But here we have the Seven of Wands, Seven of Torches, which is all about pushing through this uncomfortable time. Really staying on course, staying on target, having that perseverance, that determination to keep going even though you're not sure what direction you're supposed to be going. It's this need to kind of put the work in, to really dig up the dirt, to really find these answers, to really find your purpose, to find your calling. You're on like a quest. This is not so simple, and maybe this is why I feel so scatterbrained. It's not so simple as, oh, just do this thing, you'll find this thing. Put yourself on social media. There's something deeper happening here energetically. Maybe you're shedding a layer, maybe you're transforming, maybe you're doing something that you've never done before and it's really clunky and messy, and you're studying it and you're like, I don't know if I'll ever be good or if I'll ever get any better or if I'm ever going to be able to make this happen. But this is saying, you know, Seven of Wands here is saying like, you need to be determined, you need to push forward, you really need to have that courage to like push like past the fear, past the insecurities, past your past, past it all, to really get out of your comfort zone and let it evolve and branch. So you're definitely like shifting something, you're definitely shaking something up. It's not an easy feat. Definitely think that you're learning something new with the Hierophant here. You're definitely in the mode of study and learning and exploration. And yeah, let's get you some advice then. Let's get some advice for group 3. Okay. All right. So, we have the 8 of Swords. So the advice is you're not stuck. You're not stuck. You're being asked to pause right now. So your advice is to let yourself have this pause, this rest if you need, and know that you're not stuck here forever. You know, you're not always going to be in this position. You're not always going to be terrible. You're not always going to be learning. You're not always going to be here. I feel like you're afraid that you're going to be stuck here forever and that you're never going to progress and you're never going to get better and you're never going to be able to go anywhere. You're never going to be able to sell yourself. You're just like, nothing's happening and I'm stuck. The advice here is you're not stuck. You're not stuck at all. Like there is definitely a lot of need for determination, hard work, persistence. Like no one's going to come and hand you this. No one's going to make you better. No one's going to help teach you these things. I mean, yes, maybe you have a teacher, but you have to sit down and study and do the things. But there is this need to just put your head down and keep working and really trust that you have, that you're on the right path. You know, you really have to have this footing, this groundedness to trust yourself, to believe in yourself, to really fight for yourself and be determined for yourself. You know, really put your energy into it and don't let the fears kind of hold you back here. You know, we also have the Emperor here, which is just, I like to think of it as the ultimate father energy. So maybe you need to be more of a father to yourself. Where do you need to be a bit more stricter? Where do you need to be following more rules? Where do you need to, you know, believe in yourself and have that trust and that compassion as well as the father does? You know, gives you the tough love, but is very supportive in a healthy relationship. You know, where can you learn to father yourself and really be there for yourself? And then we have the 9 of Pentacles as well. So you are creating something bigger, something stable, something, deep. And this is asking for you to get curious about those topics. And even if they're wild and out there, like to really allow yourself to be lavished in this state of study, in this period of curiosity, in this period of kind of a new start for yourself. I feel like you're really expanding yourself and really trying new things and doing things differently and really evoking a sense of yourself at your core. So this is just asking for you to trust yourself, stay persistent, feel the fear and do it anyway, and know you're not going to ever be stuck in the same situation, that it will get better and you will progress and it will, move forward. I'm going to get one more advice card. Anything else I missed advice-wise for group 3? Any other additional advice? 10 of Wands, persistency, determination, hard work, but take breaks. Like, you don't have to always be working, studying. Like, maybe she's here in the 9 of Pentacles to also remind you to enjoy life, enjoy this process, enjoy what is being given to you, what you're creating. There needs to be happiness and joy in your life and not just work and study and head in the book. Like, there needs to be a balance here. There needs to be fun, excitement, energy, hanging out with people, like doing stuff, because then you're going to be able to come back and work harder after a state of rest. So let's see what's coming next then, after this confusion, after this period of stuck and persistency and determination. What is coming next for your career? Okay. Well, this is all lovely. And one more. That one. Okay. Well, definitely, you're just getting through this rough patch for sure. So we have the 6 of Pentacles, which is all about giving, receiving, that balance. I feel like what you're putting your time and energy into right now will have a payoff, will have a reward at the end of it. It's not going to be huge, it's not going to be lavish, but it will have a significant payoff this time that you're being called for this determination and consistency. There is the Knight of Rods. So making movement, making choices, making action. The Knight is all about movement and energy with these passions. After this period of study and contemplation, and really like studying and thinking and planning, it's all about doing. So, and we have the 8 also, which is all about fast action, things happening fast. So once you're out of this reflective period, things are going to be happening fast, things are going to be shifting fast, and it's going to make you happy. And perhaps you're going to be having these people in your life, or attracting people that will elevate you, and you're just going to be having a lot more fun with whatever is coming. Like, there's so much more enjoyment on the other side, and hope and excitement, and you're really listening to your inner guidance of what you need to be doing, where you need to be going. You're just being called to have this reflective period, to really work on study and growth, and trust that you won't be stuck in it forever. That's really the message coming through. Let's get anything else for you. Anything else I missed? The Hermit, yeah. Okay. The Hermit, Ace of Swords, and then we have the 10 of Cups. So yeah, again, the Hermit, a time for inner reflection, inner knowing. stepping away, not literally, maybe more figuratively, away from it all to really go within, to look at your wisdom from within, and to study yourself. Perhaps you're being called to go through a transformation yourself at this time that will help in the aiding of your studies and your growth. And then we have the Ace of Swords. Oh, I can't pick it up. Which is all about new ideas coming to you, as long as you're open to them. New ways to communicate, new ideas, new ways forward, new thought patterns, new creative endeavors. Like it's all the new with the brain, you know, with the thoughts and the ideas. There's like new stuff coming after this pause of contemplation, and I can't speak anymore. Contemplation. And we also have the 10 of Cups, which is just feeling fulfilled, feeling really excited, feeling full and joyful of like what is coming. Like there's so much wonderful things coming. This has been the weirdest reading I think I've ever done. It's not revealing much details, but I hope it made sense, because that's kind of all I have for you. I feel like I'm just repeating myself at this point. So yeah, feel free to give the video a like to support free tarot content. Leave a comment. Let me know if this made sense to you. What are you calling in? Are you studying something? And feel free to subscribe if you feel called. Until next time, take care of yourself. Bye.